Today we are going to start with our sixth chapter, that is mental disorders. So we know that to lead a healthy life we need sound physical and mental health. And sound mental health means strong psychological conditions and absence of mental disorders. So to understand mental disorders we need to understand or we need to have idea about abnormal behavior. So let's have an idea about that. So abnormal psychology studies the abnormalities seen in the behavior of an individual in which the causes of the abnormal behavior and its treatment are shown. So abnormal behavior falls in the arena of abnormal psychology, and abnormal psychology is one of the branches of the psychology, and under this branch it studies the abnormalities seen in the behavior, that is the abnormal behavior, its causes and its treatment. Okay, and at global level WHO is associated with the physical health in the same way APA, that is American Psychiatric Association, is associated with the diagnosis and treatment of mental disorders. So World Health Organization, that is WHO, is associated with physical health, and the same way APA, that is American Psychiatric Association, is for mental health diagnosis and treatment. Okay. Then in recent times psychological disorders are classified according to their symptoms and time duration. So psychological disorders are classified based on the symptoms that an individual exhibits, and also the time duration, that for how long period that symptoms are going on. Okay, and in this chapter we will seek information about the classification of the disease and about the biological, social and psychological factors responsible for the mental disorder. So in this chapter we are going to see the mental disorders, that is the classification of the diseases, and also the biological, social and psychological factor responsible for the mental disorders. Okay, so let's start with what is abnormal behavior. So before going to the definition, let's understand the meaning of the word abnormal. So the word normal has come from the Latin word norma, which means the carpenter's measure tape. So normal word has come from the Latin word norma, and norma means the carpenter's measure tape. And why it is taken as a carpenter's measure tape as a word normal? Because a carpenter's measure tape is an ideal measuring instrument, the measurement of which is considered perfect. So the measurement from the carpenter's measure tape is considered as perfect, and that's why because of this meaning the norma word has taken form of normal in English. Okay, so we can say that ideal situation of the uniformly accepted norm is known as normal. So which is uniformly accepted, that norms are known as normal. Okay, then what does abnormal means? Ab means away from and normal means normal. So abnormal means away from normal. Okay, but it is difficult to specifically say which behavior is normal and which is abnormal, as the concept of normal or abnormal varies in relation to age, caste, sex, society, etc. Now defining abnormal behavior and normal behavior is difficult. It is not as easy as defining the meaning of abnormal and normal. Why so? Because the concept of normal or abnormal varies, and it is dependent on the age, caste, sex, society, etc. Okay. For an example, if a small child loses his pencil, he becomes violent and cries loudly. But if the same behavior is shown by the 25-year-old, that is if 25-year-old loses his pencil, he cries and he becomes violent, then such behavior is considered as abnormal. So you can see the same incident change from normal to abnormal because of the factor named age. Okay, because of the factor age, the given example changed from normal to abnormal. Okay. Usually behavior that is according to society, culture and age is corresponding to social norms and social expectations and also adjusted to its environment is known as normal behavior. So what is normal behavior? That behavior which is according to society, culture and age and is corresponding to social norms and social expectations. So according to the norms made by society, culture and age, if that behavior is according to the social norms and social expectations, and if it adjusted to the environmental conditions, then such behavior is known as normal behavior. Okay, तो जो सोसाइटी ने बनाया है, अगर हमारा बिहेवियर उस हिसाब से रहता है तो हम एक तरह से नॉर्मल बिहेवियर के रिलैम में लाई करते हैं. ओके, अपोजिट टू दैट बिहेवियर विच इज़ contrast to social norms and social expectations and maladjusted is known as abnormal behavior. और जो सोसाइटी के नॉर्म्स और एक्सपेक्टेशंस के अपोजिट है, उस टाइप के बिहेवियर को हम abnormal behavior कहते हैं. ओके, so this was the general meaning of abnormal behavior. So now let us understand the definitions for abnormal behavior. So first definition is given by Warren, which states abnormal behavior means deviated from the clearly defined norms which cannot be considered as representative or normal behavior. So according to Warren, what is abnormal behavior? That behavior which is deviated, which is not in the line with the defined norms, and that behavior cannot be considered as the representative of normal behavior. Such behavior is known as abnormal behavior. So जो हमारे defined norms है, अगर उससे डिविएट होता है हमारा बिहेवियर और वो बिहेवियर हम उसको एज ए रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बिहेवियर काउंट नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो उसको हम अबनॉर्मल बिहेवियर कहते हैं. ओके, देन अकॉर्डिंग टू जेम्स पेज, abnormal behavior is defective, unexpected, illogical, not appropriate and harmful. A person who behaves in such a way puts himself or herself and others in trouble. So according to James, what is abnormal behavior? It is defective, it is unexpected, it is illogical and not appropriate, and it may be harmful. And if that person behaves in such a way, that is if his behavior is illogical or unexpected, or if it's harmful, then that person puts himself or herself and even the others in trouble. Okay. Then according to J.C. Coleman, a behavior which is low in moral values is known as abnormal behavior. So this is the simplest definition in our textbook, that is a behavior which is low in moral values is known as abnormal behavior. Okay. But from the above definitions, the universally accepted definition is as under, that is abnormal behavior is different from the normal decided by the society, unacceptable and creates problem in the social dealings and adjustments. So what is abnormal behavior that is universally accepted? That is such behavior which is different from the norms decided by the society. So जो society के norms है उससे अगर आपका behavior अलग है, उससे अगर वो अगर unaccepted है और उस behavior की वजह से problems create होती है socially deal करने में और adjust करने में, तो वो behavior हमारा abnormal में count होता है. Okay. Now we are going to understand about the classifications. So like we know, the WHO World Health Organization is dealing with physical illness and APA is dealing with mental disorders. So based on both the organizations, there are certain classifications made for the mental disorders. Okay. So a person who behaves in a socially acceptable manner and having a normal behavior is considered as a sign of healthy person. So if a person behaves in a socially acceptable manner and if he is exhibiting a normal behavior, he is considered as a healthy person. Okay. Now some years ago, in the definition of health, only physical health was included, but in the modern time, physical, psychological and socially healthy person is also known as healthy person. So in the previous versions of classification, that is some years back, the definition of health included only the physical health, but in modern times it has included physical, psychological and social health also. Okay. And at an international level, various organizations are associated with the classification of mental disorder, and the prominent one are WHO, that is World Health Organization, and the APA, that is American Psychiatric Association. Okay. So the classification given by WHO is known as ICD. ICD stands for International Classification of Disease, and the classification published by APA is known as DSM, which means Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder. Okay. So both ICD and DSM are helpful internationally for classifying the diseases on the basis of their symptoms and also for providing proper diagnosis. So both ICD, that is International Classification of Disease, and DSM, that is Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, are helpful internationally for classifying the mental disorders and also for treatment of it. Okay. In 1948, the ICD-6 was published by WHO, in which first time classification of mental disorder along with the physical disorder was provided. So first time in the 1948 ICD-6, that is ICD 6th version, was published by WHO, in which the mental disorder was also included along with physical disorder. Okay. And in 1952 the first edition of DSM, that is DSM-1, was published by APA. So DSM-1 was published by APA in 1952. So over here you will see a table which represents the DSM editions and the published year. This table is very important as per your exam perspective, because even in 2 marks answer they ask you to draw the table and to mention the published years. So you have to learn this table. And also even in MCQ they can ask the DSM-1 was published in which year, or even the DSM-5 was published in which year. So you must remember this table. Okay. So now over here we are given with some extra information regarding DSM-5 classification. So what are included in DSM-5 classification? Over here neurodevelopment disorders are included, that is intellectual disabilities, communication disorder, autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit and hyperactive disorder. Later in this chapter we are going to see autism spectrum disorder and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Then we have special learning disorder, motor disorder and other neurodevelopment disorder. So all these disorders are classified under DSM-5. You don't have to learn this table, or you don't have to mug up this, because as this is an extra information and nothing is going to be asked from this in your exam. Then over here they have given the disorders, namely schizophrenia, spectrum and other psychotic disorders. So over here the major disorders are given, and this also you don't have to learn, you just see the names, that is catatonia, then bipolar disorder, then bipolar related disorder, this we are going to see later in the chapter. Then depressive disorders, anxiety disorder, this is also in our study. Then obsessive compulsive disorder, then we have trauma and stressors related. Then all these names are given that comes in this schizophrenia spectrum. Okay. So if you have any doubt you can comment on the video, or please let me know if you require the answers for the exercise questions. That is, if you are not getting any answers for the exercise questions, you can comment that too and I will provide you with the answers. Okay.